We are picking it up in line 287 to 295, and this is looking into Aeneas's decision making for how he is going to handle Dido and getting ready to leave. Haec alternanti potior sententia vis est. Menestea sergestumque vocat fortemque serestum, classaptent taciti socios quad litora cogant. Arma parent et quae rebus sit causa novandis dissimulet. I'm going to stop right there. Haec sententia. This opinion, that goes together, visa est, seemed, potior, better or preferable, and you got to put in ae, to him, dative, alternanti, and that's a dative also, present active participle, to him alternating. Now they just talked in the lines before about how his mind was going to this idea and then this idea and here and there. Well, this alternanti is very appropriate for that. So this opinion seemed to him alternating or going back and forth better or more preferable. And so this is his plan now, after he's thought about it. Menestea sergestumque vocat, fortemque serestem. He vocat, he calls, and then three people, menestea, sergestum, and fortem serestum. Three of his comrades. We got all accusatives here. Got a Greek accusative here. He calls them to do several things: to optent, to cogant, and parent. Now, these are all subjunctive, present subjunctive, and this vocat we have to treat as if he's giving a command. It's like saying he calls them to do something, he commands them or orders them to do it. Because these subjunctives are what we call indirect commands. Usually you would have the word ut after the vocat, but it's missing here, so you have to supply it or understand that it's there. I talked a little bit about the present subjunctive in the last video, and here we see it at work again. Remember I said it was clem, eats clams. So real quickly, just taking a look at these, opto, optare, that's a first conjugation and it's changed to e. Cogant is from cogo, cogere, a compound of ago, to force or compel, drive, and normally it would be cogunt, but since it's third conjugation, it's changed to a, like clem eats clams, 1, 2, 3, 4. And parent, that's also a first conjugation, so that's also changed to the clem, from parant to parent, paro, parare. So these are all present subjunctives following the clem eats clams little mnemonic there. And so render it like this. He calls, meaning he orders, Menestheus, Sergestus, and brave Serestus to prepare or outfit the fleet, klassem. So direct object there, and to do it, taciti. They are the subjects of these indirect commands, so taciti is nominative plural. To do it, to quiet, prepare the fleet, and to cogant, to drive their allies. Now this is, or their comrades, this is accusative. Ad litora, accusative direction toward, to the shore. Z, this is a neuter plural, shores, from litus, litoris. And to parent, arma, to get ready arms in case they should need them. parent arma. So all these are commands, things that Aeneas is ordering them to do. Were he to do it directly, and we have quotation marks, he would be saying, aptate classem, cogite, socios ad litora, parate arma. We would use the imperative, but since these, it's just getting reported what he said, not his exact words, we use vocat and then indirect commands. And to dissimulate, oh, one more thing, sorry. One more command here, dissimulate. This is from dissimulare, which is a first conjugation, so it is following the clem. The main vowel has changed to E. And to pretend or to cover up, quae rebus sit causa novandis? What cause sit there might be for rebus novandis, for things being made new or changed. So in this relative clause here, well, it's an indirect question. This is the thing. This clause is what they're supposed to pretend otherwise, or what they're supposed to cover up, dissimulant. What cause, those are the nominatives. Sit, that's a subjunctive, present subjunctive from sum. It follows sim, sis, sit, simus, situs, sint in the present subjunctive. And just as these are all present subjunctive. But this is subjunctive because it's an indirect question. If you asked it directly, you'd say, what cause are things being made new? What is the cause for things being made new? But since this is within indirect speech, with these indirect commands, this is a subordinate clause within indirect speech, it has to have the subjunctive mood here. And indirect questions have subjunctive anyway. What the cause might be for things being made new. And this rebus novandis, I believe this is a dative for things being made new. There we go. So let's just do this whole thing one more time. This opinion seemed to him alternating the best or the most preferable. He calls Menestheus and Sergestus and brave Serestus that they make ready or prepare the fleet quietly and force, or not force, but drive their comrades to the shores, that they prepare weapons, and that they conceal, they hide, what might be the cause for things being made new or changed, why this change in plan. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish it up here. Se sinterea quando optimadido nesciat et tantos rumpi non speret amores, temptatur attituset quae mollissima fandi tempora, quis rebus dexter modus, ocius omnes imperio laeti parent et iusa facessunt. Meanwhile, while excellent Dido is unaware or is unknowing. So our subject now for this next part, optima Dido, excellent Dido, and the subject, the verb, nesciat, while she is unaware. Now these are still present subjunctives right here because they're in subordinate clauses within indirect speech or indirect discourse. Sometimes they call it oratio obliqua. Whatever it is, you want to. It's signaled because Aeneas is calling this, and so all this now is under this verb. that he is calling them to do things, indirect commands, and now he's going to be calling upon himself or saying to them that he's going to do this stuff down here. So we'll see Wocott is still over all of this. While excellent Dido is unknowing, meaning she doesn't suspect that there's going to be this change in plan and that Aeneas is going to leave, and does not hope, okay, spirit from spero, sperare, also present subjunctive, or does not think, you could say, that, and now there is an indirect statement from this hope, because this is a verb of the head now. She does not think that such loves to be broken, that such great loves would be broken. Okay, so rumpi is a present passive infinitive, and tantos amores is the accusative of this clause. So one more time. Meanwhile, we're skipping over this say for now. We'll come back to that. Meanwhile, while excellent Dido is unknowing and does not suspect such great loves to be broken, she would not expect Aeneas to break it off now. Temptatur aditus, se. So now you got to put in a verb of like dicit. I mean, really Wocott is signaling this whole thing here, but you could add in the dicit. Aeneas says, maybe eis, to his crew, to them, meaning these guys up here, and all his comrades. He says to them that, and now this temptaturum needs an essay with it to make it an infinitive, so to make this an indirect statement. Okay? And the reason why we would insert this is because we already have this Wocott that Aeneas is talking about all this stuff. So all this stuff falls under this. He says that, he says to them, that he, now say is that he himself, it's just a longer form of say, that he himself is temptaturum, is going to attempt. Now temptaturum is a future active participle. You can identify it because it has the ur in there, which makes you think of future. It's really just a perfect passive participle that's got the ur added in there, and that bumps it to future, but it's future active. So temptaturum esse. He says to them that he is going to try, put it in the future, he's going to attempt aditus, approaches to Dido, to approach her and talk to her. Et quae mollissima fandi tempora, and he's going to try approaches quae mollissima fandi. What tempora, what times, those go together, okay? You got to put in sint in here, might be, this is a present subjunctive of sum. What times might be mollissima? Oh, and these should all be subjects, sorry. What times would be the most favorable? So mollissima could be smooth or soft or, favorable. What times would be the most favorable? Fondi, this is a genitive. It's a gerund, I believe, of speaking. What times would be the most favorable of speaking? Comes from for fari, this fondi here. Okay, wow. That's a lot going on here. So one more time. Meanwhile, and let's just bracket off this phrase here. Okay. Meanwhile, while excellent Dido is unknowing and does not suspect or think that such great loves would be broken, he, Aeneas, says to his comrades, to them, that he is going to attempt approaches. And what times he's going to attempt, what times might be the most favorable of speaking to her, when she's in a good mood or something, I guess, or, what would be a good opportunity of bringing this up. Quis rebus dexter modus? What way to for things, this is a dative, rebus, for things, and you got to put in sit again, just like we put in sint over in the last clause. We're putting in sit here. Would be dexter, would be right. Oh, and these are all subjects, my bad. Subjects. What way or what mode of things would be right, or would be, the best. And dexter, like your right hand, would be the most skilled. Aeneas has to really think out how he's going to approach Dido here. So one last time. Meanwhile, while excellent Dido is unknowing and does not suspect that such great loves would be broken, Aeneas says to his men that, there's our indirect statement with the infinitive here, that he is going to try approaches, and what times would be the most favorable of speaking, and what way of things or for things would be the most skillful or the best, the most right. Ocius omnes imperio laeti parent et iusa facescunt. Swiftly, ocius, this is an adverb here, ocius, swiftly, omnes, everybody, meaning all of Aeneas's men, parent, obey, happily obey, they happy obey, this is an adjective, laeti, which goes with the omnes, so those connect. Everyone happily obeys the imperio, and imparent takes the dative, so imperio is dative here. Et, and they facessunt, they do, like facio, they do the iusa, the orders, or they carry out the orders. That's accusative. So in all, what do we make of this scene? What does this scene and the last lines that have preceded it tell us about Aeneas and his men and the situation? Well, we know that he has difficulty making a decision because he alternates. But in the end, because he's pius aeneas, he does do his duty and he gets things ready. He doesn't want to break it to Dido right away because he fears what might happen, and he probably has genuine affection for her. So he has to really think through, as we see down here, how he's going to approach her and tell her this. But he does start getting things ready in secret. Everybody, all his comrades, seem to be very happy to leave. They are laeti and ocius, very swiftly they work. There's this idea that they want to leave Carthage, whereas Aeneas seems reluctant to leave Carthage. So Vergil, in a way, is, without saying it, is condemning Aeneas in a way for his reluctance to go and follow his destiny. And everyone seems relieved when he finally gets on the ball. We'll find out in the next lines what Dido's reaction will be and how she's going to get word of this change in plans.